What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. I'm going to go through tips and tricks of the Galaxy Tab S9 series of tablets. So let's get into this. If you swipe over from the left to the right, you have your Google feed here. But if you want to turn that off, all you got to do is go back to the home screen on a blank spot, press and hold, swipe over, and you'll see on and off. You can turn it on and off. If I turn it off, now that is off. But if I want to turn it on, there you go. We just turn it on from there. While we're here, let's press and hold again, and let's go into wallpaper and style. And in here, you can choose from a bunch of different wallpapers that you have here. You have your featured ones. Then you have your graphical ones. You got your colors. You have wallpaper services. So you have a bunch. You can also just download some from the internet as well. You have your color palette, and this is going to change the way like your icons and stuff here look. So you can choose different ones if you want it to look a different color or something. So I'll do this green one. I'll hit apply, and you'll see that this stuff is going to change. There it goes. So now I have that, and you can always just come here and kind of choose what you like. Choose your basic colors. So choose what attracts your eye the most. Why don't we just do this one for now? And that is my wallpapers and styles. Going back in here, press and hold, go into widgets, and in widgets, this is where you can add a widget. So for instance, these are little apps that lie on top of your tablet. So I'm gonna go to Best Buy, and maybe I want my deal of the day thing going on here. So I'm gonna put this here, drop it, and if I signed in, I'd see my membership number, I'd see the deal of the day, and I can also search. So it's kind of nice to be able to do little apps that just sit on your screen and they automatically update as time goes on in the world and in the usage of using the tablet. And if you want to get rid of it, just press and hold it and then choose remove. Press and hold again, go to settings. It's not going to bring you to settings like you would normally go. It would bring you to home screen settings. This is where you can change it. So like if you're used to just seeing home screens only because you came from an iPad, you can come in here and you just have home screens. All your apps are on here. You don't have anything when you swipe up to go to see your apps or anything like that. So if you like the iPad, type look, you can do that. But I like seeing both. So I'm gonna return it to both. And then we're gonna go back into home screen settings. If you want your home screen grid, if you want these icons to be bigger or smaller, as you can see more on there, you have that option to do that. I keep it at the default. But then you can also do that with your app screen. So if you want to see more, you can, or less, depends on what you want to personally see. And then when you're done, just hit done at the bottom, and then it'll take effect for you. You have your add media, which is that Google thing I turned on and off, the very first tip I showed you. Show apps screen button at the home screen. So if you like that on, it's going to show this button right here. If you tap that, it goes into this, all your apps. So if you like that from the old school days of Samsung, you can bring that back if you want. You can lock your home screen layout, meaning that you can't move around your apps on your home screens, or you can't add apps, you can't remove apps. I turn that on for my older members of my family, and it really helps them out without them rearranging their screens all the time if you lock that into place. Add new apps to home screen. That means when you download a new app, it's going to automatically add it to the home screen. I like that, but if you don't want like that, you can turn that off. Hide apps on the home screens and apps. You can come in here and hide certain apps, and then when you're done, just hit done, and you're good to go. You can even remove it. Swipe down for notification panel. Turn that on, meaning that when you're on here, you can swipe down from anywhere to see your notification panel. Instead of having to go all the way up here, you can go just right here, and it would make a little bit easier of a time. And then I think that's pretty much it for that. To see this, like I showed you can swipe up, down. But if you do two fingers, it's going to bring down your quick toggles. So you see that, see two. But if I do it with one, it only shows that. So it's kind of neat that you can control that. Swiping down again will show this, and you can add your quick panel icons in here. You have your top row or your full row. I'm going to go to full, and all you do is, like, say you want one of these on here. All you're going to do is click and drag it up, which I really don't want any of these, but let's just say I wanted one of these. Let's just say secure Wi-Fi. I'm going to bring that up, drag it to where I want. Maybe I want it there. When I'm done, I hit done. If I want to drag one of these out, all I have to do is press and hold this. Hit the X, the little minus sign, and that will remove it, and then hit done, and I'm good to go. And same thing on this one right here. You can change your top layer of icons with hitting the little minus sign and then dragging one up, so it makes it kind of nice and easy to control. Quick settings instant access. As you can see, pull down from the top right corner of the screen to access the full quick settings panel. So kind of like an iPad, an iPhone. If I do that, you can see with one finger, I can bring down my quick toggles. So it'd be similar to, again, what iPhone has. You can turn that on and off. Brightness control, I like to show it always, and that's basically when you're right here, it's always going to show that brightness bar, so it makes it easier to control it if you need to control it. So I always find that pretty helpful on there. And then the last one is device control media output buttons. I like showing that as well. That's going to allow me to basically move my media if I'm playing something and push it to a TV or earphones or something like that. So it makes it pretty helpful right there. Swipe down again, and actually let's go to this. Let's go some multitasking. So there's a couple of ways to multitask. I'm just going to open this up, and if I swipe over from the right with two fingers, it's going to bring this up, and I can open up another app. Maybe we just want Amazon. Swipe this over. I can do it from the bottom, and I can open up an app that way to bring up more apps. Maybe I'll just go back into settings this way. Can press these three dots in the middle, and you can rearrange them, or you can put them side by side, or I can star it, and if I star it, I can add the pair to my taskbar, which would be at the bottom here. I can add it to my home screen, or I can add it to my apps edge panel, which is over here. I'm not going to add it, but just to show you, this is your apps edge panel right here that you have, and it allows you to open up apps. You can also multitask that way. Press up here, press and hold the app I have open, and it will automatically switch open to another app. We'll just do that again, press and hold, and you can see it brings open the ability to open up another app. Swiping down from the top, we're going to go into settings by hitting the gear. Now that we're in settings, we're going to go to connections and then hit the three dots, go into advanced settings, and where it says Wi-Fi network and notifications, turn that off. That's going to stop you from getting notifications when your tablet is in a public Wi-Fi settings. Unless you love having that, I would personally turn that off. Next, we have your connected devices, and in connected devices, this is where you can link your computer to a Windows computer and go through all of the things such as texting and all that. You have your multi-control, using the keyboard and mouse connected to one Galaxy device to control all your Galaxy devices and drop and drag files between them. So you're able to do that. You can drag and drop files if you need to. On there, how to connect to a Galaxy phone, you can see tap connect phone below, or push your mouse cursor through the edge of your tablet's screen. But to connect to it, you can see a keyboard or mouse must be connected to the tablet. Next is Samsung DeX. If you tap on that, you can see you can start DeX. You have the new DeX, or you can look at the classic. So I'm in the classic DeX because the new one, it looks like you need a keyboard and mouse, but it turns your tablet into a desktop operating system. So if you have a mouse and a keyboard, it's actually going to make it kind of cool. You open up things like this, and you have these little just tabbed windows that you have. You can maximize them if you want, or go back, or close them. So just like you would on a Windows computer, you have all these little apps open. You can play games. You can all use your normal stuff. You have your taskbar at the bottom, your home button, your back button, your recent apps button. I think that's a screenshot button. Yep. You have your volume button. You can use this to check your notification. So some really cool stuff. And if you want to exit DeX, just hit the button down here and then hit exit DeX. Sounds and vibrations. Come in here if you want to control your volumes and things like that, your vibrates, all that stuff. You can also set a temporary mute for a certain amount of time in case you're busy or whatever. You also can control your ringtones and notification sounds. Just come in here, choose what you want. Sound quality and effects, and turn on Dolby Atmos, change it to auto, and that way you'll get the best gaming that you can get, or best sound, I should say, that you can get. Really nice sound overall. Notifications, I like this one, notifications pop-up style. I like seeing the detailed view of stuff. So to me, that's, when you get a notification, instead of seeing just a little line, you get a big block up here that makes it a little bit easier to read and see. Still under notifications, go to advanced settings. Battery percentage, you can turn that on and off. I like seeing the battery percentage, so I'll keep it on. And then you can also show the date or not show the date. Display, turn into light mode or dark mode. You can even set settings that it will turn on as scheduled, like do a custom schedule or sunrise to sunset for your dark mode on your screen. Make sure motion adaptiveness is set to smooth, adaptive, I should say. That way you get the best looking display smoothness wise. If you want to make your screen mode different, I like vivid, but you can change it to a natural or balance it out yourself. Screen time, 2 minutes is the perfect time. Font size and style, come in here and make your font bigger or smaller so you can see it better. Edge panels, that's this thing right here. I would recommend turning it on, but you can turn it off just by pressing that. You have your taskbar, you can see it right here. You can turn it on or off. I like having it. I think it makes it a little bit easier. If you have a screen protector on here, turn this on. It's going to make your screen a little bit more sensitive. If you want to protect your battery, go into battery and then protect battery, and it'll only charge your tablet up to 85%, prolonging the battery feature of it all. You can also check how much you've been using it and all that. You can show your battery percentage if you missed it in that other one. You can change settings and turn fast charging on and off. Lock screen. This is where you can set your screen type. So you see I have this one on, but I can change it to a pin or a password or a pattern, or have nothing at all. I can have my biometrics turned on, so I have my face, and I'll do the fingerprint. So we'll set that up real quick. We'll register it just to show you how to register a fingerprint on here. And it's all on here, and it takes just seconds for you to set this up. And these fingerprints have gotten a lot better over the years underneath the display. Still not my absolute favorites, but definitely more reliable than they were a handful of years ago, which, as I set this up, it's not being absolutely amazing. There we go. So I got that. I'm going to hit done. And show fingerprint always, I think that's a good one. Tap the icon, show icon when screen is off, show animation when unlocking. Done. Next, go to security and privacy, and we're going to go into biometrics, face recognition. And if you have this, I would definitely recommend adding your face, but this one, stay on lock screen until swipe. Turn that off. That means when it unlocks through the face, it'll automatically go into the home screen. And then if you want to make it a little bit more secure, turn these things on, but I keep them off. I'm fine with that as a whole. And then if you missed it in the first point, you can add your fingerprint here as well. Go into advanced features. If you go into labs, you can have multi-window for all apps. Some apps won't be you just can't use them multi-apps wise, but this will make them all go that way. And then you'll go back here, and we're going to go into S Pen. If you use the S Pen, or I have it docked, you can do air actions and certain, whatever, any kind of settings for the S Pen is all in here, and allows you to turn things on and off. I'm not a big S Pen person, but if you are, side button, quick launch the camera. So if you double press the power button from any screen, or the screen's off, it'll automatically launch the camera. And then power off menu. It's usually set to Bixby. Turn it to power off menu, so you can, when you press and hold it, it'll turn your tablet off, or at least give you the ability to turn it off. You have your multi-window. You can swipe for split screen. That's where I showed you with 2 fingers. If you wanted to be able to do the same thing, turn that on. You can also swipe for pop-up view. I turn that off. That just gives you a little pop-up window for certain apps. I think it gets a little bit clunky, so I turn it off. Show multi-window menu with 1 window if you want. You can turn that on and off. And full screen and split screen view, you can turn that on or off. I can turn it on so I get more viewing potential, and it kind of hides all these things like here, like the time and the date and the battery percentage and the quick launch bar at the bottom. Motions and gestures. I turn all these things off, so I can double tap to turn on my screen and to turn off the screen when I'm on my home screen. I can cover screen to mute it, or palm swipe to capture a screenshot. So it's always nice to have all of that stuff. You can see you also have your video calls and effects. You can turn these off and choose a different background, and it's available for certain apps. And dual messenger, this is a cool one. If you have multiple of these accounts with multiple apps, multiple logins, you can turn this on and you'll have multiple. So if I turn it on, for instance, for Facebook, I'm gonna hit, if I hit, it'll install a second copy of Facebook. I'll have two Facebook copies, and I can log in with them with different accounts. Settings, software update, download and install is where you can check for new updates. And there you guys go. Those are my tips and tricks for the Galaxy Tab S9. If you want to pick this up, it's a great tablet. Thanks. I'll link it down below. And I've done a video on it. I love this case. It's amazing. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.